Welcome to another episode of Mythbusters Fitness Edition, where I take all of the information that's out there, the stuff you read on the internet, the things you see on social media, and break it down and give you the information that you need to know, the factual information that you need to know. And beyond that, I make it easy for you to understand, because sometimes that stuff is so complex that a lot of us have no idea what it is, let alone how to apply it to our lifestyle. This week's myth that I'm going to bust is I'm too stressed to eat healthy. Now, I don't always hear it in those words. I hear things like, I'll start eating healthy once I'm less stressed. Once this stressful event passes, I'm going to start my diet. Once life calms down, I'll start eating healthy again. Well, here's the thing. You may be feeling stressed because you're out of routine and life looks different right now. But eating the right foods and filling yourself with nutrient-dense foods can actually decrease your stress levels. Because stress has a lot to do with what goes into our body. So let's talk about exactly what stress is. Stress is an overfiring of that sympathetic nervous system, where cortisol gets released and systems in our bodies start to respond in a fight or flight mentality. Now, it's not a bad thing for the sympathetic nervous system to fire. In fact, we need it for a lot of things in life. But where it becomes problematic is when that sympathetic nervous system continues to run, when cortisol levels are chronically elevated. That's where we enter into the danger zone of chronic stress. Chronic stress presents harmful health factors, and we face a lot of health risks because of it. Now, one thing that doesn't get mentioned, you hear a lot about the sympathetic nervous system when it comes to stress, but what we don't hear about is the parasympathetic, the rest and digest. We need that rest and digest to slow our bodies down, to give ourselves the opportunity to recover, to repair itself, to sit in a lower energy state and to process. But when we're chronically stressed, that parasympathetic nervous system doesn't get the opportunity to fire, and we see a lot of the wear and tear mentally and physically take place in our body. But how does food play into that? Well, I know that you're probably stressed. You're feeling overwhelmed, and the last thing that you want to think about is food. But one thing that we've forgotten is that food is medicine, that it has a lot of healing properties and many capabilities to decrease some of our chances of facing chronic stress. Actually, it can decrease how much stress we feel in a single day. Now, let's get into the gist of eating healthy. Now, just the fact of eating more nutrient-dense foods, feeling healthier, we likely are going to decrease our stress. Because we feel more energized. We feel more confident in how we look. We feel better about our bodies and how we feel and move. We feel better about getting closer to our goals and living as the best version of ourselves. And we don't have so many of those feelings of regret and guilt. Now, that alone can really drop stress levels. If you're fueling your body, putting good foods in, you feel better about yourself. You feel more confident. You have more self-worth. You feel more valued, which decreases stress. It boosts mood. Now, the actual components of food as medicine is there are different nutrients and different properties of foods that can really lower stress levels. One of the first is vitamin C through oranges. Now, you can lower your cortisol and your blood pressure just by consuming more vitamin C. Now, I'm not talking the sugared up Sunny Delight orange juice. I'm talking actual oranges, whole orange juice. Keep it as natural and minimally processed as possible so that you get the most vitamin C out of it. The next is some of the biggest and most feared items of food: carbs. Complex carbs actually contribute to decreased stress levels. Whole grains, fruits, and veggies, they increase serotonin, help build muscle, help repair the body, help stabilize hormones. They get a bad rap, but they're actually really good for us. The problem is the quantity. So focus on getting whole grains, fruits, and vegetables into your system to boost your serotonin and help your body combat stress. Other things we have are magnesium, which has been shown to contribute and help with sleep. We have omega-3s, which is great for heart health and management of stress hormones. But sometimes we just want those comfort foods. So what do? First, you have to build awareness. Build awareness around how are you feeling when you're feeling like you need to run to the cupboard or the fridge. Process the emotion. I don't just mean be mindful. I mean just be in the moment. Build an awareness of where you're at currently, what you're doing in this moment. But let's say that you can't get away from the stress and you really do want some comfort food. Well, things like oatmeal and dark chocolate and fruit are great comfort foods that take away a lot of those sweet and possibly even salty cravings. But if you really feel like you need to make that run to the cupboard or the fridge, try the 10-minute rule. As soon as you feel that you need to run that direction, stop, set a timer on your phone for 10 minutes, and have an activity that you like to do instead. For me, I like to get up from what I'm doing, walk around the house, do some core work, do some light exercising so that my mind gets away from the food. You have to refocus your brain on something else. As soon as it locks into that and you don't distract it, that's all it's going to focus on. Do something. Read, meditate, go for a walk, play with a kid, a dog for 10 minutes. And after those 10 minutes, if you still really desire and want that food, then go ahead. But do it in moderation. Have one serving size. And afterwards, try to think about how that made you feel, what it did to your stress levels. Did it make them better? Did it make them worse? And see how you can better manage that stress next time. We're all stressed, but it doesn't mean that eating healthy should take a backseat. Use these tips, use these foods to help better manage your stress so that you can feel better and see better results.